What was your "f this shit I'm out" situation or experience? Broke a few vertebrae on a job, changed careers, started working as a bank as a teller. Back pain was pretty frequent, so started using a lifted chair that was available, so I would be eye level with customers. Came back from lunch break one day, chair was gone. Asked managers about it, they said my job description required me to stand. Put in my 2 weeks the next day. Jesus, have they never heard of the AD8? I have seen pregnant women who were in obvious discomfort, who were forced to stand, tellers, cashiers, etc. When we were young, my wife was a teller for a while, and she was looking for a tall chair to give the preggers teller. The bank manager said no. He said if she gets a chair, even though she's pregnant, then the other tellers will want a chair too. My response was, so. I think it had more to do with injury lawsuits from idiots falling off their tall chairs, so now everyone has to suffer. You should have sued the f*** out of them. They can't require you to stand all day if you have a disability. When at a yearly review, a former boss hyped up giving me a 10-cent raise and praised how good of a team leader I was. When I asked about the management position that had opened up at a store I was sent to fix, she told me she couldn't stand to lose me permanently to another store. I turned in my 2-week notice and moved on. My boss took me into her office one day. She told me I was a great worker, and she was giving me a 25-cent an hour raise. I went out and told one of my co-workers, and she told me everyone got that raise. We all made minimum wage, and it had just gone up 25 cents. That sounds like a Michael Scott move. I worked at a hotel as a banquet server for a year about 15 years ago. After applying at a bunch of different other jobs, I landed a great entry-level role at a utility company that paid double what I made at the hotel. I initially planned to keep the hotel job part-time for a while to see how things worked out. My first shift back at the hotel, they sent me in to clear plates in a room. There was this young teenage kid, basically looked me right in the eye and dropped his plate on the floor. Was staring me down waiting for me to pick it up. Room manager next to me asked me to clean it. I looked at the room manager and basically just said, "Fuck this, I'm going home." Never went back. Still with the same company that I had that entry role with today. Life is damn good. Well done. F the kid, he thought that he had slaves. But also f the parents from whom they probably learned that behavior and who didn't step in to clean up after their little shit of a child. If I pulled a stunt like that as a teen, my parents would have me cleaning the entire hotel as a punishment. Lol, you have good parents then. When I was 19 I got a job at one of those industrial uniform places where they do all manner of textile good rentals / cleaning. On my first day I was put on a blanket folding machine and pretty much told good luck, red flag number 1. The machine kept jamming and they wanted me to crawl into the back of it with absolutely no lockout tag out, red flag number 2. After I finished all the work they gave me in like 2.5 hours they acted both surprised and concerned, and I noticed nobody else on the line seemed to move with any sort of purpose, like lazy zombies, red flag number 3. They then stuck me with 2 old ladies to fold rags, seriously, and when I showed up these ladies suddenly felt like they didn't need to contribute and just sat there chatting, red flag number 4. Come lunchtime I told the HR lady this wasn't for me and left. All that for $7 an hour. Abso-fucking-lutely not. Dude, I would have left once they told me to crawl into machinery with no lockout. I mean what the f***? I didn't do it. I'm ugly not stupid. LMAO. Me and my buddy were teenagers, up to our typical mischief hanging around in the wrong crowds. One night we went to my friend's acquaintance's house or something like that to look at getting some weed. Well, the guy's 6 feet 3 inches psycho-ass looking roommate came out of his room, coked out of his f***ing mind, and was talking at like 1,000 miles per hour. We were passively tolerating his presence and then he aggressively stated, with a huge smile, "Why can't you look me in the eyes, bro? Look me in the eyes when I'm talking to you, man." My friend and I looked at each other in near disbelief, then just left. But the scariest this moment was when we met this hardened-looking old dude in a gas station parking lot. Guy helped us with our car issue, then asked for a ride to his buddy's place. We figured sure, he helped us out so we'll help him out. Guy was weird as the whole car ride, and then said this. "Hey, I need to make a little deal with this buddy. Can I pay you guys to just stand behind me and, yeah no, look tough? That's all." We were like, "Nah, absolutely not," and so he backed down and was like, "Okay, just wait in the car then." So we stopped at the place and waited outside. Right before he went to go inside he turned to us and said, "If y'all hear crackin' just get the hell out," and then the motherfucker just opened the door and barged into the place. We sped the hell out of there. Thank God you did. That could have turned nasty real quick. I'll just convince myself that the old guy had a crazy sense of humor and it was just his own house they were dropping him off at. That makes me feel nice. I too will accept this version of reality. Got a job as a barista in a small town. Boss told me he couldn't afford to pay minimum wage, which was $11.50 at the time, but I'd earn tips. Well, in a small town in January during the third shift, the only folks who came in were older working men who generally gave me the dime left from their 90-cent coffee. I made $27 in 3 days. Quit after that and got a job at the drugstore next door. The coffee shop owner would come in and buy stuff there with stolen tips. Came home to my roommate's bipolar, pregnant girlfriend freaking out on meth. Moved out, quit my dead-end job, and went to college. That'll do it. My friend just got a position with them and posted about it pretty vaguely, so when I asked what she did, she told me that she sells knives and even if she didn't make a sale she would still make money, and immediately my brain thought, pyramid scheme. I did a quick Google search and they seemed pretty adamant that they weren't a pyramid scheme, but in my head, it still smells pretty fishy to me. Can I ask what made you leave? They start them out with a guaranteed base, which is where the "I make money even if I don't sell" came from. It's not much, and it won't last long if they're not selling. That aside, Cutco make great knives, they're just massively overpriced. I had been at my first proper job for about 5 years and had been talking with workmates about leaving and stuff. I'd been thrown around the company and done so sorts of different roles and had a year of finally being in one position long enough to get used to working in it, and was finally putting out for work and learning stuff. I was finally feeling good about stuff and getting stuff done, but middle management was still on my back about menial little things like, I'd take 15 to 30 minutes longer than estimated, which I tried to remind them what estimated means, or if my timesheet was in late. I'd seen friends leave and was thinking about leaving for a bit. Then I had my performance review. I was hopeful about this one. I'd been smashing stuff out and really feeling good about my work going into the review. The review was the same shit. You're too slow, we want to move you to a different team, people like you but you're not coping with the workload. That was the moment. I didn't show I was upset with it, I just wiped my chin and said thank you and went about my work. I asked my teammates about how I'm doing and told them my performance review, asking for serious responses, not just friends reassuring me because I needed to know. I got a recruiter to find me a job and went to a few interviews. When I got the result that a company wanted me for a considerably higher salary, I cried over the phone. I finally felt like I was good enough for the job I'd trained for, and while it's not exactly my dream job, I absolutely love my current company and am so much happier. Happy endings, they are indeed the greatest.